Tell us when you're recording.
I'm recording now.
You're recording? I'm not talking to
Be
Seth.
gentle, Bart.
No. I wasn't gentle last time. Why would I have to start now?
Here we are.
What's up, San Martians? Welcome to Season 2 of The San Mo Show. I'm your host with the San Most, Cleveland. Joining me today for the inaugural episode of Season 2, a crossover episode that will go down alongside the likes of the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour and That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana. Please welcome Bart Peluso and Seth McNeill, also known as the Poddy Mouth Guys.
Hello.
Hey,
I'm
how's
Bart.
it going? Oh, I thought you were done.
I'm the only Poddy Mouth guy. I don't know who the guy next to me is.
I am the founder of Poddy Mouth.
I am
Seth.
I am in the title. I am the Poddy Mouth, and he is guys.
So Poddy Mouth and Guys, how are you guys doing today? Living the dream today, or are we?
Or is our day just going?
We met for the first time about 15 minutes ago in the lobby.
Yeah.
We did some ice-breaking activities.
Yeah.
Name,
I found out
Major.
who his Disney princess would be.
Jasmine.
Yep.
Jasmine's good today.
Can you name mine?
Aladdin.
You already know.
What'd y'all think about the new live-action Aladdin?
Please say something.
We have gotten into a bit of a fight about this.
Yes, we had an entire debate because
The movie itself is fine.
it was great.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Now, Seth is about to say some blasphemy that Will Smith is a better genie than Robin Williams.
Okay, what's your argument for that?
Don't you
I won't say that. I won't.
Don't
say
you enable him?
I
Do you know
think-
those people that wait on the quad and just scream God hates you? And you're like, you have an opinion, but I guess we have to listen to it. That's what is about to happen. So Seth, I will give you silence and you can take it away.
There's a first time for everything. They were both amazing genies.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can doubt that. Robin Williams is one of the greatest actors of all time. May he rest in peace. But I enjoyed Will Smith more as the genie. I think Robin Williams was a better actor. I think he had a much wider range of characters. But I think Will Smith did genie better.
I don't know about that because, I mean, if you look through the process of...
I love you, Cleveland. Cleveland, I just want you to know I love you.
appreciate
Before you say anything, I fully support you and endorse you.
Can
And
I-
please
I
take it
appreciate
away.
the
Nope,
support.
Seth.
I just want to know, is this like the one that Soulja Boy was on? Can I stand up and yell like, Bart? And like, can I like leave?
No.
Will Smith!
I think
Robin Williams!
I think it's important because I know where Cleveland's going. So Cleveland, you say your point, and then I will piggyback off of that.
Like alley-oop slam dunk here on Seth?
Yes.
All right, okay. So basically, going through the process of animating Aladdin, they had to actually like reanimate scenes and stuff like that around Robin Williams' voice acting because he would just improv lines and be zippy with it. And so they would literally have to like change his head. Like they changed his head to like look like Jack Nicklaus or somebody like who he's impersonating just on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean that speaks to how even Disney animators were unprepared for how much talent he was going to bring to it.
He changed the script.
Yeah.
Because it's animated, he had nothing to work with but his imagination.
Yep.
He's the reason that the entire industry shifted from like professional voice actors to celebrities, and sometimes not for the best. And now I want to point out, Will Smith did a great job, but it wasn't the genie that like no one's going to grow up and be like, do you remember Will Smith as the genie?
Yeah. No.
That was Will Smith as the genie. Robin Williams is the genie.
Exactly. What are you going to say to that? Because we basically dunked on it.
This is
Genie.
this is funny because I'm older, but this is a generational argument.
Dude, he's like, Cleveland, how old are you?
I'm 19.
I'm 20. He's 21.
Almost 22.
Almost
But-
22. Dude,
What I'm
hey,
saying
Seth,
is-
how was the Great Depression? What was it like living during the Great
Did
Depression?
you meet JFK?
Yeah.
The younger...
Were you driving?
No, he graduated. Without
You
me
killed
doing
JFK.
it. No, because
that?
I mean,
Can
we'd
we
have
say
to call
that?
him by his full name if he killed JFK.
Jonathan Franklin Kennedy.
Yeah. No. Seth. We don't
Oh.
call Seth by his. We don't call Seth by his full name because every person who kills a president goes down by their full name.
Could you imagine if it was like David Blaine killed Lincoln?
John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald.
You can't prove that.
Imagine a kid with a bad name and he decides he's going to kill the president to get the final laugh.
Speaking of not necessarily bad names, but
I thought you were going to say speaking of something.
No. There's this. I saw him on Twitter. I think his parents named him the coldest.
The coldest.
The coldest to ever do it.
How old is he right now? How old is he right now?
Like high school football.
So
The
17.
coldest to ever do it.
You can't be a bitch with that name.
I know you can't. I don't think it's physically possible. It's like a curse, or not a curse, a blessing, a magical spell on you as a
Shakespeare said,
child.
like, what's in a name? And I can't agree with that.
The thing is, the question I have about it is, what the fuck does his birth certificate look like? And
Fellas, the F-bomb has been dropped. The seal is off.
Okay, sorry.
Kids, leave the room now.
I did it first.
Contact your parents before coming onto the show.
I fucking knew it.
I knew I would.
Now they have to come on the show with their parents' permission, just like Disney Channel.
Seth killed Jonathan fucking Kennedy.
Here it is.
Bart has a link to Pornhub on his channel.
On my website. That's a big difference. We're getting distracted from the point. Imagine how much pressure his father had, or the mother, whoever did the birth certificate, spelling that correctly. My name is Bartholomew, and my father's name and his father's were all Bartholomew, and my dad almost fucked it up. So imagine spelling, what is it? One more time?
The coldest to ever do it.
The coldest to ever do
Middle
it.
name to ever.
To ever? Okay.
Yeah, and then it's... No, I mean, it's the coldest to ever do it, and his last name's like Williams.
Johnson
Oh, wait,
or
did-
Williams, yeah.
So he has a regular like last name.
Do it is not his last... Alright, that was...
I guess do it. It's all one word.
That would be
Middle
funny
name.
if their last name was to do it, and they're like, well, we might as well just take advantage
Well,
of
I
the
mean, my friend
opportunity.
Jet Speed, he was on one of the episodes.
Jet Speed.
His legal name is Jet Speed.
What's his middle name?
Bradford.
Jet Gavin Speed. But no, I think that's a badass name.
Just like Robin Williams. Not like Will Smith, because
Yeah.
Robin Williams.
Dude,
badass
I'm
person,
fine
badass.
with that being the theme of this episode.
We can move on.
My question is for the coldest. When he was a kid,
Yes, the coldest, our fourth guest.
when he was a kid, how did the teachers get mad at him with a straight face? Like, the coldest,
God damn it, the coldest.
what are you
They
doing?
had to call him like DC or something.
DC.
DC could work.
I like that. DC's actually pretty dope.
Yep.
DC to ever do it.
Case closed.
DC.
He has to get a tattoo of his fucking name now.
For sure.
He has
There's no
Bro,
way
if he
around
doesn't go pro,
He has to
Sports
get
is canceled.
a shirt with his birth certificate on it. That would be
it.
fly.
And social security number and the last three numbers of his credit card.
Do you know your social security number?
Not off the top of my head.
Prove it.
I will not
don't.
say it.
okay. I don't.
I know the last four.
I know the last four. That's what you use
Why
most
don't
of
you
the
tell
time.
us what they are?
My name is Raymond Fosfelt, and I'm just kidding. I have a friend named Andrew. We talk about him on our podcast a lot. Basically, what happens is I've known him for years and years and years. I use his email for everything.
Really?
roundrockandrew@gmail.com. And, like, literally everything. Like, I was in College Station the other day, and I got a text. He said, fuck you, enjoy your snow cone or whatever. Because, like, when I'm checking out, they're like, do you want an email? I'm like, hell yeah, I do.
Sure.
roundrockandrew@gmail.com. Fun fact, when I paid for my apartment last year, he had to forward me my lease.
Jeez.
Because I instinctively put in his email on the lease agreement.
I'm just going to forward you this. You're being evicted.
I tried to sign him up for an escort service once, but it didn't work out. Something about that being illegal in the state of Texas.
So where'd you buy snow cones at College Station?
We didn't. Snow cones may have just been a thing I threw out there. What did we eat in College Station?
Buffalo Wild Wings?
Buffalo Wild. College Station.
Wow, I was there last weekend too.
Yeah, for the game.
Yeah.
I went to so many. Seth showed me so many restaurants.
Fuzzies.
No, granted, none of these are like College Station only restaurants,
Yeah,
but
Fuzzies
I've never
is
been
at,
there before.
Baylor too.
I went to
Yeah.
Fuzzies, which I really liked. Buffalo Wild Wings, which I really liked.
That's a really like small chain. Like I think that's the one and only in all of Texas of Buffalo Wild Wings.
No, we have one. We have a couple in Lubbock.
I think he's kidding.
Lubbock's not real.
Dude, Lubbock is not real.
I can't freaking escape
This
this.
is the
Lubbock
perfect.
doesn't exist.
This is the
damn
perfect.
it.
I love you.
I hate this
Cleveland.
dynamic.
is
This is the worst podcast I've
Cleveland,
ever.
you can have the word "the" in the Poddy Mouth Guys. I'm
Change the
I'm relinquishing the rights.
I'm taking the Mo in San Mo show.
The Sand Show.
Wait, Peluso. I'm gonna change the thumbnail of this to like the LeBron James
Yeah.
Dwayne picture.
From the but meanwhile now that
Yeah.
Seth took over your podcast, it's like
Welcome
from the
to
guy
Mo-
that
welcome
killed
to Mo
JFK.
Guys.
The guy that got murdered on the San Mo show. So what's it like being in Lubbock? Because I'm genuinely curious. I've never met anybody from
Well,
Lubbock.
it's a myth. So
Yeah.
Wait, you know what's so funny to me? Do you know how, like, okay, I imagine every question Dakotas gets is about his name, right?
Yeah.
That's his entire identity. Poor Seth. Lubbock is just like, every question is like, what is Lubbock like? But please, Seth, enlighten me. We could do like a traveling bit about this at this point.
I mean, you're 6
God.
hours away from like civilization, basically, right?
Yeah,
I
they
mean-
didn't have power till 1980.
You are literally out in the middle of like butt fuck nowhere.
you're right, but
And cut.
Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Wait, where are you from, Cleveland?
I'm from San Antonio.
Oh, where's that?
that's a
40
myth.
miles.
San Antonio. So you went to high school in San Antonio?
Correct.
What
Well,
was-
Shirts, Texas. I mean,
Oh,
like
I know.
northeast
Okay,
side.
no, I know. I
They,
actually know.
they
what
don't
it
wear
is.
pants there. Have you noticed his attire?
Dude, he's coming for your neck because you brought up Lubbock.
Things
That's a
people
country.
don't say. I've never heard anybody ever say like, "Man, I can't wait to go back to Lubbock."
Did you see what? I'm sorry, I'm going on this tangent because Texas. You tweeted this or retweeted it. Our Texas State,
We fucking killed a girl.
We murdered someone
dude.
from
This
Oklahoma.
is the murder
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
Welcome to season 3 of Serial. My name is Sarah Koenig, and this is That American Life. No, Seth, you know more about it than I do.
Oh, so fun thing that Texas State Athletics is doing to increase attendance to the football games.
Because no one goes.
They're doing a big contest to win a car.
Yes.
Is it a Mercedes? I don't
Mercedes.
A
It's a white
Mercedes.
It's a white Mercedes.
Bobcat decals.
Oh yeah, bro. It's
You can take those off, ladies and gents.
It's fire.
It's pretty nice,
It's
though.
all white. Looks pretty good. Well, they talk about that, and so this random girl from OU, don't know why she's following us. Living rent free in OU's head apparently, but she quote tweeted and said, "Imagine having to bribe people with a Mercedes to go to your game." That's kind of good. Like,
Yeah.
I guess you're kind of funny.
And
Like,
then-
but then Texas State was like, "Give me my
Imagine-
gun."
Yeah, walked in, dick out.
What did
Dick
they
out
say?
and
What did
said,
they say?
And said, "Imagine going to school in Norman, Oklahoma."
Boof.
And then somebody tried to defend it by being like, "No, Oklahoma, like Norman's such a beautiful city. You're right by Oklahoma City. Like, okay, cool. You're right by hell. That's
Oklahoma
awesome.
City.
You're right by.
Okay.
What?
We have a
next to
river.
fucking-
I
We have
didn't know.
Austin.
I
We
don't
have
know
San
what
Antonio.
Norman is. Is Norman the Lubbock of Oklahoma, or is Oklahoma just Lubbock? The
Oklahoma
entire-
is
Well,
Lubbock, but
it's
a state,
funny
basically.
because like 60% of the people who go to OU are from Texas. So there's an ongoing
Yeah, no,
joke that's
I
the
saw
University
that
of
once.
Texas and Norman.
I saw that once. Just the out of state percentage was so high. That's the thing. I will say.
Or Arkansas too. University of Arkansas too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a lot of
There's a lot of
transplants.
University of Texas is out there.
Freaking
in many states.
So Seth and I did cat camp, and every year
we did.
Yeah, we've repressed it.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about cat camp with y'all because y'all make it sound like a lot of fun. I was listening to y'all's episodes and stuff.
We'll get to it in a second because now that we're no longer employed by cat camp, we can have more fun with it. But
Good.
what happened was every year they'll be like, "Where is everyone from?" And I think out of like how many campers per session on average? Like 200.
Between 150 and 220.
Okay, maybe 4 of them are from out of state.
Wow.
They're all from like every session. There's someone from Alaska.
Or Hawaii. It's
I'm like,
fucking
why are you
crazy.
here?
Like, how did you end up at Texas State? And they're like, I hear it has a beautiful
I
campus.
heard there's a river.
I'm like, yeah, but you're
Both
from
true.
fucking Hawaii. You have a beautiful state.
And I'm all about people like stepping out of the comfort zone, going somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But also, those are always the first kids to get homesick, and I feel bad. But also,
Yeah.
it's like you had a long time to think about this.
Yeah.
Like,
You can't. Yeah, you're screwed. So
how are you gonna get back? You can't drive to Alaska. Like, I mean, you can, but not reasonably.
I was like, what's better than driving to Hawaii? Just cut to that
Yeah, they
Spy
built a
Kids
bridge, yeah, it was
vehicle.
crazy.
The video of the Jeep driving through the water.
The duck bus.
Oh, yeah.
What questions do you have for us about
I
cat
don't know. I
camp?
just want to see what the experience was like because I was thinking for my next job coming like in the summer, maybe I could work it. Do you recommend?
I will say, first
Yes.
year on staff, a dream, a movie.
living the dream.
Yeah. First year on staff, a movie. Second year,
A play.
a shitty podcast like Poddy Mouth Guys.
He uses shitty in an artistic format.
I did
Shitty
it
with
with
an accent on the I.
a
shitty with a
shitty-
lisp.
A shitty
Shitty.
podcast. God damn it. Talking
And
is
then-
hard.
Then your third year.
Your third year, you just You're ready to end
Have
it
you
all.
ever seen the beginning of Saving Private Ryan?
Yes.
Okay, it's that.
That's how I felt.
Here's my input. I was a counselor both years. I went as a camper when I was a freshman. If for some reason any incoming freshmen are listening, it's an amazing time. Go to it. It'll be the time of your life. I think everyone would agree on that. As a counselor, it's also very, very fun. It's like literally summer camp, but with your best friends from Texas State.
And your girlfriend.
Yeah, I actually met my girlfriend through that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's gay.
But but I will tell you, do not do what Seth did. Do not become an exec, which is like the people in charge. You'll want to kill yourself.
Every waking minute.
I was one of the best behaved ones. I would like to
So
point
your
out.
position was what, Bart?
Counselor.
Counselor, and then you were the exec. So
Director of Staff and Development.
He was my boss.
it sounds like you had a lot less fun stuff to do.
I did. I did get to talk in front of all the campers like all the time.
Yeah, no, he
so
was
they all
the MC.
recognized
He
me,
was the
which is
MC.
cool.
Everyone loved him. The only issue was Seth had to be
The bad guy.
the bad guy. And hey, I'm speaking like completely on the record. I don't care who hears this. I think he only was the bad guy when he had to be. And we butt heads about stuff a lot. But the thing that pissed me off was like people would show up consistently late. He would be like, guys, you can't fucking do this. But like, imagine the first day at camp.
Yeah.
Okay, first session that year. Some of these people are new, right? They've never worked for cat camp
20
before.
minutes late.
They show up 20
Oh,
minutes
they
late.
talking about the campers being
No.
That's
I'm not
Campers-
gonna yell at I would never yell.
No,
at
campers go
campers.
for it. The counselors were getting there after the
Oh, yeah,
campers.
that's shitty.
It'd be one thing. It would be a whole different kind of frustrating if it was a returning counselor who at least when they got there knew what they were doing. But these counselors were getting there after campers, and the campers knew more about what they were doing than the counselors. And so Seth was like, "Everyone huddle up. Y'all have to be here on time." Like, and everyone's like, "Oh, why do you have to be a dick
I
about it?"
tore into them.
Yeah, but
I'm not gonna
but
lie.
it was
I
deserved.
yelled a lot.
It was deserved. I was sitting in the, and that was the awkward part. I'm never the good child or the good student. I was in the front row, like, yes, sir, like, yes, dad, yes, daddy. But
That's
but
me.
the entire time. It's just annoying. And our friend Neelan, who's been on our podcast a couple of times, he's like the king of cat camp. Shout out to Neelan. He's like literally leads all the counselors. And he obviously would get there on time and everything, and we would have to like watch Seth have an aneurysm.
Holy shit.
And it was annoying because we're like, if we can do it, y'all can do it. And it was
Bart
just
can show up
stupid
on
shit.
time. And
I'm
Bart
a
is
horrible
terrible at
employee.
time. We always set a time to record, and he's always 20 minutes late.
Yeah, and that's me too.
The reason we don't have some episodes, like the reason we have a season 2 is because I kept sleeping during our recording and I said, fuck it, we're taking a break. Like I Ross and Rachel did.
Yeah, I was the same thing with like my girlfriend too. She'll tell me, it's like, oh yeah, I'm making dinner at like 7, for like the girls and I, if you want to come over and eat. And like she's actually like starting dinner at 7:30, but she knows it can be like that late. So like she'll just tell me 7,
Yeah.
so I show up on time.
The adjusted time. Like you have daylight savings and then you have
You have
Cleveland.
Peluso
You're on
time.
Cleveland- you're on
You have that
Cleveland,
BP time.
You're on Cleveland time. Like
My thing is just like about being late. It's weird. Seth, I think this is a testament to how much I love you. You're not going to take it this way. I feel comfortable being late, and I know that's not how it should be.
Yeah.
But like, I'm never late to. This is going to trigger him. I'm never late to anything that matters. So if it's like we're getting lunch, I'll be 5 minutes late, and he wants to kill me.
One time,
Yeah.
I was in Lakeway with my parents, and
Yeah.
he set a hard time for when we needed to record,
Yeah.
and he was late.
Seth left his parents, who live in a made-up town.
in the mythical land of Lubbock.
The thing is, okay, I have a bad habit of, being late for class and then being like, I'm not going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I do that
You
all
should
the
be in
time.
class right now.
You missing class for this?
I'm not, no.
I was like, I'm flattered. No,
Seth loves to like make a joke about me. You and the allegations. We were
I was like, what?
Dude, I mean, I am your lawyer and I am present, so let's talk about these allegations.
Cleveland is,
Yeah, we were like
you're
texting
DMing
and
us.
I was like, hey, so I was asking like, hey, anything you guys want to bring up? Anything you guys got going on? You want to promote? And they're like, oh no, it's fine. Just hit us raw. Just go at us raw. You just go into us raw.
Yeah.
And those were your
We
exact
kept-
That's how we
those were
take
your
it, baby.
exact
We
words.
kept,
Those
we
were your
kept
exact
saying
words.
raw and then in parentheses pound the meat a couple of times.
But he didn't say that.
And then,
we want you to know we said
Seth
that.
had the genius idea to be like, just don't mention the allegations, which I laugh at. And then I go, oh my God,
I posted the
Cleveland.
blinking white dude, Kev. I was like, the what?
Cleveland's terrifying.
Yeah, I saw him react. I was like, damn it.
So the problem is like, I just am instinctively, I'm the kind of person where if someone's sarcastic, and the other person doesn't realize, I just make it worse. And so I was like, yeah, I will only talk about those with my lawyer present.
Yeah, I was like, ugh.
And then I have no allegations that I know of.
And see, like, I would be fine either way with that, honestly. But the thing is,
You just cut me out of the podcast.
We'll just cut that part.
We're just giving, like,
I will say the glove did not fit him.
Puff's not fit, you must have quit. No, but the thing is, like,
Shout out to
I
my
was fine,
hero.
but I'm also, I have to, like, kind of keep in the back of my head, I'm a sitting student senator.
Yeah.
And so,
Hey, senators are like the worst when it comes to allegations.
I pray to God that none of them ever hear this.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be problematic because I'm actually having the vice president of the student body
Tucker.
come on. Yeah, I'm having Tucker on. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about, like, hot button issues around San Marcos and stuff, but, like
Outkick.
like construction.
Too tall?
Like,
Question mark?
the construction or like
Walrus
maybe
or
like,
library?
capping admissions for the school because like we're growing too fast. We're becoming College Station almost, where like the town's buckling under how many people are just coming and going from that place too much. So just stuff like that. But I'm feeling like if he like retweets it, like, because all the senators will be like, "What the fuck is this guy?" And they're gonna go back and they're gonna hear all of my shitty opinions on what's going on.
No, I
Yeah, they're gonna be like, Robin Williams?
Shut the fuck up. We completely agree because Seth and I have this conversation every day where I come up with something funny that will ruin the chance of us ever having jobs.
Yeah.
Like it's the satirical kind of comedy where it's offensive, but
If you know me, you know
yeah,
I'm like
it's
joking.
like how Robert Downey Jr. in the movie Tropic Thunder, like his character does blackface. I'm not saying we ever would, but
not that we or the San Mo show endorses blackface.
his
for the
character
record.
does blackface, but the character in the film, no, it's like a character doing it. The other characters are saying that's wrong, and the comedy's in the fact that it's wrong, and that character doesn't get it.
Yes.
That's the kind of shit we'll come up with, like stupid shit
Yeah.
about like, yeah, it's offensive, but we're like highlighting the fact that
It
is.
Yeah.
But then it's like, it's really funny, and we don't even think people would get offended. It's just like, how are we going to have jobs?
If and I said this to him in College Station. If we knew we could, financially support ourselves doing dumb shit like this, we would do it in a heartbeat. We would cross that line 100 times.
Yeah.
Because
We would pole vault over the line.
oh, dude,
That's why I'm trying
would
so
not
hard,
exist.
just like on that avenue of getting this podcast, or like, oh, when I say this, I mean like Poddy Mouth to a point where it's like we can do shit, not worry about it. Because I know, like, I had a marketing internship over the summer, and I sent the episodes to my bosses who wanted to hear it, and they thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
But I'm very fortunate to work at a company with that kind of culture.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how it would apply anywhere else, but I also do like hard R comedy, and like the worst stuff you can find about me is literally
What kind of hard R?
Trigger. He
No.
means trigger.
Sorry.
He will be triggered.
I say hard R is the movie rating, no affiliation with any special words.
like Joker.
Yeah, like Joker. It's Joker. My thing was, I remember, I want to say, I came here.
You what?
We came. I ended up
Our
at
episode's just Bart saying I came.
yeah,
Innuendo.
raw, pound the meat. I went
the
to
meat.
one of the open mic things here, and I remember like I'm getting on stage, and I had a 5-minute bit that was completely clean.
Yeah.
And I'm getting on stage, and I go, "Wait, can I say bad words?" And he says, "Yes." And I go, "Fuck yeah." And the next 5 minutes were completely made up from my head, but just were like way funnier than I could have ever been. Because I don't know about y'all, and I want to hear y'all's thoughts on this, but I grew up Italian household, very loud, lots of bad words. But like literally my dad explained to me when I was 6 or 7, like, hey, this is a word, you cannot say it, you'll get in trouble, but it means nothing. Like it literally, like, without venom behind it or like bad intent, it means nothing.
The word was poopy.
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 No, it was fuck. Because my thing was that my dad would explain to me, he's like, it's all about context. Like people say it and it's very funny, and other people say it and it's like the rudest thing they can think of. And I think I grew up like knowing that. And so I think Seth, I want to hear your thought on this. There's never been a time, I don't count cat camp, other than like at Texas State, there's never been a time where I've said a bad word in front of an authority figure that I should not be saying bad words in front of. I don't think I have that issue at all.
No, the only problem I could think of was the time you taught our boss, his son, the word shit to get me in trouble, but it backfired and you got
I want
in
to
trouble.
clarify. I want to clarify. Our boss, like Seth's boss's boss, brought his like 5. I love the guy. Shout out to Peter. Brought his 5 or 6-year-old kids to a college camp, and they were getting on my nerves. So I grabbed one of them. I said, "Go tell your dad the word fuck. My name is Seth McNeill." And I sent him down like the little sidewalk. And he walks up to his dad, and he points at me and says, "He told me to say the F word." So not only did I get in trouble, I didn't even get the pleasure of hearing the little kid say fuck.
God damn it.
It was annoying.
That is rough. I know, Seth, you gotta be careful too, because you're president of Theta Chi, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
And I'm hoping to work for them after I graduate. So it's very, let's not be too over the edge, but I think we've done a good job of, we have things that are racy.
Yeah.
They are provocative, like that hit song.
Oh, the hit
Fellas
song,
in Paris.
Fellas in Paris.
But it like, I think we found a good balance of, we say things that like they're wild, but they're not fire him wild.
Yeah.
And we have no animosity, and we make that very apparent.
And I don't think we've ever said something to be edgy.
No, we literally, we let everything flow.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I like. That's why I was like, hey, I don't want to come in prepared with what we're going to say, because I feel like this is going really well.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect to come in here and talk about how we
I mean,
use
Cleveland,
word.
you're a very good host.
Thank you.
Just wanna
You
say
are
that.
an excellent host.
As 2 people who have to host and don't know shit about what they're doing.
You are much better than
You are
us. I
much
will tell
better
you
than
that.
us.
Well, I mean, but I like listening to y'all stuff too, because like y'all, especially when you're just like with Nealon and like all your friends, like it just like I feel like sometimes, and it sounds kind of like sad, but like if I'm like eating dinner alone or some shit, like,
You're a
I'll
part of
play
it?
I'm like, I'm joking alone
Dude,
with y'all. Like, I'm
you
laughing, it's like I'm in
have
the room.
captured the feeling, or you have said exactly what we try to do.
And we've gotten
Y'all
people
achieve
who
that,
say
definitely.
that.
So that's I think our idea, other than the fact that it's just some shitheads making a podcast, is
Poddy Mouth.
this season we've had a lot more guests. Like the first season we had guests in the first episode, then we had 9 straight episodes of me and Seth. And why I don't think that we're not funny or anything. Yeah. It's so much better with guests.
It's hard to be inclusive.
And I think it's cooler where it's like me and Seth are the constant every episode.
Yeah.
But you get to meet these new people.
Exactly.
Some of them are very funny. And then it's like, and then you have reoccurring characters like Nealon, or we talk shit about like Andrew.
Yeah.
And the whole point of it was me and Seth had this whole debate because like, the thing about podcast is like we immediately we're trying to be as funny as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But some people just listen to podcasts mindlessly, right?
Yeah.
So it's not even you have to be entertaining. But I'm like, the one thing I want to do is like including. And I think Seth does a very good job of that, in the sense of like when he's telling stories, I picked this up from him, gives great context. Like as much as we shit on Lubbock, everyone who listens to our podcast knows a lot about it.
Yeah.
And so we can all shit on it together.
Yeah.
It's like a nice little family.
Yeah, I'm glad we can rally behind destroying everything I grew up in.
It's beautiful.
It makes me feel great.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the thing too. And I'm gonna say something like more serious, and I'm gonna probably like undercut it completely. With
Okay,
the show,
yeah,
'cause that's
no, go
usually
for it.
how I do it.
Of course.
But the controversial Dr. Jordan Peterson, if y'all are familiar with him, he was on Joe Rogan, and he said something that's like that kind of like inspired me to kind of make a podcast too. And he says, the internet has kind of done what like the printing press did way back, where you can have these long form conversations now and basically available at any time you want them. And like versus like instead of having to like read a back and forth interview with somebody, like you can just listen to it and you can hear like the inflections and like the like somebody's tone of voice, or it's like if somebody's being sarcastic. Sometimes, especially in interviews that doesn't come along, it doesn't come across.
Yeah, it works much better in the audio format.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think for me, like my whole entire thing is I have a different guest on every episode because I think it keeps it fresh usually, and also get different perspectives on things.
Yeah.
I of course like usually trying to talk about relevant things, and me are the only constants, but I like to have it flexible to kind of work around the guests. So like, it's gonna be, this episode's gonna be very different than discussing like capping emissions with Tucker. But I think it provides a nice variety at the same time, and that way it's also not chronological.
That's a big thing is like we definitely reference stuff, like we build on our own narrative, and I hate, it sounds nerdy, but like the lore of Poddy Mouth. But I think anyone can listen to any episode and understand. A big thing about it is like there's this theory that I hear over and over again, and it's just how saturated the internet is. And it's like, hear me out on this. When you, in like the 50s, wanted to make music, if you got a vinyl record made, it didn't matter how good it was, you made it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have become a artist, okay? Or if you wanted to make a movie, if you made a movie, the movie was made, you are now a director.
Yeah.
Well, now the bar has been lowered. Anyone can do anything. Anyone can do a podcast, Spotify Music, YouTube, and so now you have to stand out, which is way harder.
Well, and that's kind of part of it. It's like in some levels, like it's cool that it's like to have so much content and have like such a, I mean, low bar for entry, but also like you get some really good stuff you would never hear or see on TV, with like the internet being the way it is.
A lot of the niches are filled. Like people can listen to all really weird shit.
True crime is
huge because of that. My thing is like what something Seth and I talk about is like, let's say we cut our podcast off at 25 episodes and we never did it again and it never blew up or anything. I'm the kind of person, me personally, that if I could look at those and be like, this is a good product that just didn't become like huge, that's fine with me. Yeah. Because I know some people make bad products, but
and they get big.
They get huge. Yeah.
It depends. Now for the undercut, for what I say is like I saw somebody tweet on Twitter, or it's like the male equivalent of dyeing your hair and getting bangs is guys starting a podcast.
Seth's forte. Seth, I want you to just take this away.
I get every single one sent to me. Every meme about some white dude starting a podcast.
Yep.
It's hilarious. I think it's funny. Kind of touching on what you said, like I think it's good that we have the bar so low though,
because it makes things a little more democratic.
Yeah, it does, and it gives people who have the talent an easier way to get, because like say you had the greatest idea for a movie in the 50s. It was hard to make movies back then. Like shitty movies were being made because people had money.
But you
now,
lose out on the good ideas. I know exactly. Yeah.
But I think we've overcorrected to where even people who are talented kind of get lost in it too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I like it better like that than just money being the only way you can get anywhere.
Yeah, and like some people pride themselves on finding niche stuff. Like my friend Jet, we're talking about earlier. I think it's a little bit pretentious. Jet, if you're listening, I think it's pretentious, but he prides himself on like listening to Spotify artists who have like under 1,000 plays. And some of the stuff he plays is like really good stuff. I'm like, wow, I'm surprised this isn't more popular.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I was like, okay.
It's
and I think because we were talking about in my philosophy class kind of briefly, like kind of because like if you look at like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, they have distinct culture, distinct like clothing, distinct shows. Everybody watched movies, and then like you get to like the 2000s and stuff starts to break down.
It's year by year now. This shit's crazy.
At this point, and so they're saying like it's because the internet has accelerated culture so much, and it's also broken it apart because everybody has their own little pockets now.
And we've lost our our attention. Now it's like shit. Like with memes, shit lasts like a month
our
and then
attention span's fucked.
It's gone forever.
We should have invaded Area 51 by this point.
I know, we fucking forgot.
But we just fucking moved on to the next thing.
My thing is, oh shit, I know, we forgot.
I missed the bus.
Mom's gonna kill me. Something I've like been wanting to say about why, like when we got the chance to be on the podcast is, I think your branding is really, really good.
Thank you.
I liked your trailer for this new season. Mm-hmm. So I just want to hear your thoughts on my philosophy for my stand-up and our podcast. Mm-hmm. I definitely try very hard to make it seem way more legitimate than it actually is.
Oh yeah, same here. And I use plural, like I say our show, or like think like we are excited. It's me. Yeah, it's just me.
But it's key because like people eat this shit up when they think it's legitimate.
Well, that's the thing. You gotta kind of like fake it till you make it.
So 100%. My thing right now, if you could give me anything in the world other than like money or like resources to become rich and famous, I would love a fucking verified thing on one of our Twitters. On one of our that would take us so far.
Just to have the check like that, because people just suddenly take you
immediately.
Seriously.
People follow people just because of the check, and it's ridiculous. Yeah. You immediately get so much more
clout.
That's why. Dude, nothing pisses me off more than when I listen to music or watch a YouTube video or listen to a podcast and their social media is not set up or their like album cover is shit, and it's like you have the platform to look really good. Yeah.
The talent's there, just the branding.
That's something I want to do, like for my career, is like be able to do that for other people.
Yeah.
Because I just like love launching stuff.
Yeah, me too. Like I just like to just make things. I think we both have that in common. We just like to create stuff.
Something that was really funny was to bring it back to earlier. when you were DMing us about my alleged allegations,
that are true.
You DM us from the San Mo show, which is we DM from Poddy Mouth Guys, so I totally get it. But for some reason, I just like whenever you DM us, I saw like a team of like 7, like a different guy texting every time,
like 7 o'clock
and I'm like, fuck. But if you would have DM'd me, I'm like, fuck off, Cleveland, I'm at work.
I don't know. It's the way. I mean, and I'm glad y'all were cool about it because I didn't at first. I was kind of do like the sunset thing for the first one. I was like, and I was also running out pictures. I was like, I kind of want to do minimalist thing, so I did yellow too. And I was like, shit, they're also
no. I remember. I was with my girlfriend Adrian. Shout out to Adrian. And Seth's rolling his eyes, but I don't care. We were sitting in her bed. We were like saying that, and I remember looking, and I go, Cleveland just made the San Mo show yellow, but it looks really good in the crossover image, so I'm gonna let it slide. I was like, because I was just going through, like, I had like I use MS Paint. Yeah.
So I was like clicking different colors, like nah, and I was like, oh,
yellow pops, bro.
But they're yellow. I was like, okay.
No, you're a nice yellow. I'll tell you.
Yeah, and so then I was like, okay, let me try maroon. And I was like, this looks like shit.
Maroon is not a good color.
So then I was like, okay, so I'm like, let me do a different shade of yellow. So I picked like a banana pudding yellow.
No, I liked it. I personally liked it.
Yeah, I think the yellow flows for your entire aesthetic. That's the word. Your entire aesthetic. I think the yellow is a perfect look for that.
Thank you. Yeah,
and Cleveland's blonde. Yeah. So full circle.
And he has a gold chain.
Yeah. A gold chain. Yeah. Gold ring.
His eyes are yellow.
His heart is full of gold.
Yeah. He's a handsome fella. We should just build him up quick.
Wow, thank you.
I have a question.
Okay.
I've listened to episodes of your podcast, but I don't think I've listened to the first. Do you go into how you came to create it? I know you were just talking about your want to make it, but did you how did you decide on the San Mo show? And if you've already talked about this, we can skip over it completely.
Just the podcast itself.
The name.
Okay, so
she's a genius. I'm pissed off that you came up with it.
But I'm totally fine talking about it because it's kind of a funny story. So actually my roommate Garrett kind of helped me because I knew I wanted to do the podcast, but he was kind of a hostage audience because we shared a room in Tower, so I kind of bounce ideas off of him.
Yeah.
And at first we were kind of going back and forth, and I was like, oh, maybe kicking it with Cleves or something. I was like, and then I was like, because I don't want to make it all about me, and so because I want to be about the guest I have on. And I was like, well, I don't know. I was like, well, I do like to talk about current events and stuff. So I was like, and then I was like news, and then we're kind of going back and forth. It's what do we like around campus, right? And I was like, I fucking love Sewell Park. Sewell Park is great. And so at first we're maybe what if we record the episodes at Sewell? And I was like, that's not realistic. And so we kind of moved beyond that. But I was like, I still like the name Sewell. And so then I went with the ultimate edgelord move. I said, let's call it Sewell Side, but Sewell and side.
I would have, if you had a Patreon, donated $1,000 a month. If you
that was the idea. Sewell Side podcast, and then if I whenever I have guest on. So if it's one-on-one,
you're suicidal.
I'd be assisted suicide, or and then if 3 or more, it'd be group suicide.
Fucking Cleveland, we could still do this.
And I was like, well, I just got elected. Maybe it wouldn't be the best look if a psychology major who preaches about mental health has a podcast that's a suicide joke. And I was like. I was I was also
edgy,
especially if an employer finds that in the future, be like, oh, you think this is funny? Not
so
really.
you pivot from Sewell to.
I woke up one morning and I was like, San Mo show. I just rolled over and I was like,
Garrett's go the fuck back to sleep.
It's 3 a.m., bro.
The San Mo show. It just kind of came because at first I was kind of thinking San Marvelous. I was that's a brand, so you can't do that. But I was sending something around San Marcos and I think I saw something called San Mo. I was like, oh, San Mo show.
The San Mo show, yeah.
Just kind of clicked.
When does this episode air?
It's gonna be Friday, so tomorrow.
Oh my god!
Holy shit!
I usually, and honestly, I'm gonna try to record earlier because usually what I'd have to do is I'd have to reserve a space at Alkek.
Yeah.
And then I would and they only, I think tutors have it up until 10. They have the spaces saved for them, and so I would have to reserve from 11 to 1 a.m. and so I'd record late and I come home.
Yeah, because no one will fucking bother you.
I crank out editing on Audacity usually until about 3.
Yeah, I know exactly. Dude, I know the grind.
I would get up at 10 and I'd probably try to get out by noon.
See, I put on this newer season of ours that we would release at 11 because if I didn't, it would come out at fucking 8 p.m.
Yeah. And
if it came out at
12,
it did come out.
I tried to get it out Friday afternoon. guarantee the time because especially the internet here has been dog shit.
Yeah.
But
At Sanctuary, the gigantic
Sanctuary
church
Loft,
apartment.
the
Sanctuary's
church
not bad.
apartment.
It's Boingo. Boingo is like the cancer of internet.
Boingo
services.
is the internet service?
Yes, it's the internet service here.
Holy
And
fuck, they used
if
that
you're,
back when Seth was a kid in the, 40s?
Yeah, when you met
different
FDR
generation?
and LBJ, yeah.
He actually shook LBJ's hand, like the real fucking LBJ.
He graduated with him,
I'm
actually.
here for my 8th bachelor degree.
I love how you're not going for masters; you're just getting all the bachelor's degrees.
I want to be, jack of all trades, bachelor of all trades, master of none.
Be knee deep in every subject, but
Like,
like,
Seth-
not enough to get hired.
Seth,
in
when
any
you
of them.
said you wanted to be on The Bachelor, this is not what I thought you meant. Dear God.
I'm 8 deep, bro.
8 deep on The Bachelor. You heard it here first.
May 2020 come out.
So this comes out Friday.
Yes.
Ours comes out Sunday. We actually did something crazy. We recorded 2 in one day.
Yeah, at College Station, right?
Yeah, so I don't have to fucking worry about that. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's 2 for 1.
It's all edited, and thankfully we had to bleep out a lot because Seth got carried
What y'all
away.
think about College Station?
I hate it.
I didn't like it either.
I hate it.
Bart described it really well. The people there that we hung out with, not all of them, were great.
Mm-hmm.
The infrastructure is garbage, especially for an engineering school. What
Yeah.
the hell? The climate and animosity these students have for other schools was scary.
It was so funny because we walked around and just started like we got bored and so they drove around the block just yelling howdy to people out of like the window of the car. It was like howdy, and they'd be like howdy back, and we just keep doing. We thought it was the funniest shit.
Dude,
What a bunch
it's
of
like,
fucking
okay.
nerds.
we were leaving a club and we were walking back to the person's house that we like had parked at and everything. And some fraternity had a jersey
if
party.
there's any crossover, our friend Andres, who was the guest on last week, he's Neelan's childhood friend. He's the reason we were in College Station. Son of a bitch.
I was also seeing like 2 of my childhood friends there. Yeah.
You know, Seth. So the 2 guests that are coming on this Sundays are Seth's childhood friends. So we got to see a bunch of
Oh,
people.
that's nice. Yeah.
But Andres, remember, he's like 4'5". Take it away, Seth.
Yeah. So some fraternity had, I guess, a jersey party because people were talking. But we're walking back to the house, so we're in this dark neighborhood. I feel like I'm gonna get mugged. I'm in a Texas State polo, so I'm really gonna get mugged.
Yeah.
Well, we're walking, and I don't know why, but little tiny Andres was in front, and he sees these people, and he just goes, "Howdy!" And these guys go, "Hey, Agglets." And I was like, "What the?"
So they weren't
Baggies called an aggle.
they weren't.
I guess they weren't.
They weren't A&M students. Seth goes, "Fuck A&M," because he's such a...
Eat 'em up, bitch.
Well, it was funny too because like
We
I
thought we
got
were gonna
Texas
die.
State, like seating tickets for the visitor side, but then I went up to see my friends in the student section. They were sitting up in the nosebleeds, and so I mean, Texas State was already getting like decked at this point, so it wasn't really that big of a deal.
It was bad.
But I was sitting there, I had my like Texas State fanny pack on and stuff, and I was like, me and my friend Jet we both went up there and we're like, "Howdy, fellow Aggies, how do you do?" Like I sure do love the Jimbo.
We went-
Do you love the Jimbo? Yeah, like but. It was funny too because the only interception we got during that game was while we're up there. I was like, "Yes!" I was like, "Shit!" Like everybody looked at me. I was like, darn.
I was Neela and I were in the student section. Was it Neela? Yeah, Neela and I were in the student section for the beginning of the game when they were doing all their war chants, and they would like lean forward, and I was just like,
Dude,
"I'm gonna die."
Weird shit.
I was in the most
fun.
friendly place. I was with Texas State people, very top, Adrienne and her dad. Like I felt very safe.
Must be nice.
And I watched this student session, and it was so funny because I saw, and I told Adrienne this like 100 times. She did not believe me. I saw you and Neelan.
Well, Neelan kind of sticks out in College Station.
only black guy in
He's a
College
black
Station.
man.
But I saw
Counting
them.
the football players, he's
Yeah.
the only black guy in
I
the station.
saw them, and I saw just this like her just like move back and forth, and they're just like and I was dying laughing from the safety, and I was still scared. So I can't even imagine what it was
My
like being-
anxiety was through the roof the entire time because, like, at some points they lean forward and stuff, but also A&M doesn't boo. They hiss, and it's like because we are too respectful to boo. I'm like, oh, so you hiss like a fucking snake?
Yeah.
What the? I was like almost
Like
people
Kevin
almost got
Durant.
throat punched. And then I actually got I almost got I mean, I did get threatened by some student. Like they literally turned to me at one point because it was 3rd down and we weren't gonna get 1st down, and like they ran the play and didn't get it. I was like, y'all need to be quiet. We're just trying to play football. And this dude literally turned and said, "Shut the fuck up before." And I was like, All right, bro.
I was joking.
I'm literally I'm in your sight. You think I'm gonna start something, bro?
See, I had a really pleasant first half because I was just like with the visitor sitting. I wasn't sitting next to anybody I knew, so I just like landed between these two fucking dads. And I loved my fanny pack on. I was just like, we're just like talking about how defense wins championships and shit. And I was like, I'm one of the boys. Like it was
the Wallow dads. Is my
It's
dad
just
calls it.
the one
Wallow
thing I
dads.
fucking hate about A&M is we went to a nice building unveiling because Seth's friend was in the cadet.
He's a cadet in the cadet choir.
They all did great singing. The building itself was beautiful. But everyone in there is like 60, rich, white, but very nice and very formal. I'm like, they all went here and were crazy as shit. Yeah. And so at some point, they come out of this cocoon of a college kid.
Well, the Aggie connection's crazy. Like, you can get you a job just like by showing somebody your ring. And sometimes, like, if they see you went to A&M in your application, you can get just hired based on that.
It's literally Scientology. Tom Cruise actually went to A&M.
Cultish. And one of the girls we were staying with, she was like, actually, we accept the fact that we're cult. So, I was like, okay, chicken farmer. And I was like, all right, take it easy, poultry science.
Dude, we brought up poultry science on our too. Yeah.
It's
fuck poultry.
It's one of the things we don't have here at Texas State. But you know what we do have? We have fucking SWAT, apparently. Y'all hear about this?
No, what happened?
Actually, I have it here in the notes. So this happened last Tuesday. And I saw the SWAT truck. I was going over across Aquarina Springs, and the SWAT truck like blew past me right by In-N-Out Burger. So they actually had to call in the SWAT to break up this like guy who had an arrest. Like he was hiding out one of the apartments here, I think off of Bishop Street. And so they called in Hayes County SWAT. I didn't even know we had a fucking SWAT truck. I didn't even know we had a SWAT truck.
I like to think we have one, and they never have to do anything. So they were like,
actually, they broke up two things because they broke up that first thing. They got the guy who had like a warrant out for his arrest from New Braunfels, and then they also had a road rage instance that got violent enough to where they had to call in SWAT.
Well, dude, no. Here's what happened. Once the SWAT was out,
it became the city went on lockdown.
Yeah, no. Once the SWAT was out, they were like, might as well handle every fucking thing right now.
Yeah, might as well since we're already here.
They tased the jaywalker and like throw him to the ground.
They weren't there whenever we had the dude sexually assaulting people. Yeah. They were too busy then, but now they have time for road rage.
What it's weird.
You see the SWAT van at the In-N-Out drive-thru?
Last semester, that was...
It was right by my house, dude.
But yeah, they used like flash grenades and like tear gas and shit.
At the In-N-Out or at the apartment?
No, it was
at the road rage, in the cars.
It was at the apartment off of Bishop. Like they threw like tear gas shit. Only thing I can imagine is like being a student, like the floor above and just hearing all that shit. You're just like trying to do your homework. It's like,
come out now with your hands up. You hear stomping, you're like, what the fuck is going on? You're like, are they having sex again?
You're like, this rap music is just the production nowadays. Like, holy shit.
Who the fuck is Hayes County SWAT?
I've heard of gunshots at the beginning, but never a SWAT team.
Gunshots on the beat. What's harder than gunshots on the beat?
Do you I like to think that the guys, when they were like out swatting, is that what it's called? No, when they were out, the SWAT team was out. They were like, okay, they're like getting pre-jitters.
Oh shit, holy shit! So we haven't done this in 2 years.
Oh my god! And like, dude, they're in the back of the metal tank of a van. They're like, dude, do the flash grenades still work? He's like, here, let me check.
Who is it ready? Why do you say you were ready?
They pull up at the apartment, the doors open, and they all roll out. They're like, I'm blind!
So they went to the wrong apartment the first time.
That would be so funny if, like, so to the left of the door you live at has the number, but they think it's to the right.
You just get, like, rounded up.
They walk up, they press X on the door. That's how I imagine you reach the door. And then you throw a grenade in there.
When in doubt, grenade out.
Can you imagine just... You're chilling, you're working on accounting or some shit, and it's just all of a sudden flashbang. You're done. Your night's out. You're like, and then you don't turn in your assignment. And your professor's like, what's your problem, bro?
But it's one of those coincidences where like you're on Twitter, you're watching that video on how to use like the studying website. What is it called? It starts with a Q. You're right. It's Chegg. How to use Chegg without like paying, and you like hack into the thing, and then you like do that, and then a fucking grenade comes, and you're like, I'm sorry.
I have to say private police bust in there. Like, you will pay for these overpriced textbooks, Timmy.
Oh my fucking god, dude. This is a complete like huge 180, but real quick, all my textbooks are free this semester. They're all through Alkek. Do any of y'all have something similar?
No, but I know student government's working on a textbook exchange program.
I am on a committee for the school this semester. Yeah, we have our first meeting tomorrow about reducing textbook costs.
Good, that's really good.
Fucking Christ.
We'll see how that
Bring
goes.
that up, plug student government to them. Be
I
like,
used
I'm
to
doing
be
a
like-
textbook lending thing.
I used to my stand up for the open mic. I was like, yeah, I'm Bartholomew Caleb Peluso the fourth. I'm gonna have to have a fifth, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I'm gonna have to give them up to a fourth. This textbook, and it's true. Like I use that shit, and you get $1 back for it.
Yeah.
Oh my
We
god,
are
it's
on
insulting.
Bart 5 watch. Just
Yeah,
so everyone knows, we are on Bart 5
not on
watch.
Bart 5 watch.
Just in case something happened, Bart 5 watch.
If-
B5.
I don't even.
First Hurricane Dorian, now
You're-
Bart 5.
I've never heard of a
Bart
5.
B.
It's a category. I've never heard of a B5.
I've never heard of B5.
No,
I'm telling you right now,
Climate change
I'm not.
concerns.
You can hear it here first. Exclusive take on the San Mo show. I'm not naming my child Bartholomew.
Oh, shit.
I might reboot it. I might reboot it and just name him Bart, but not Bartholomew.
why?
What?
Why would you be the one to end this tradition?
Because here, I'll tell you. I told Adrian this the other night. Here's
Call him
why.
by his middle
Here's
name.
why. No. I'm Bartholomew Caleb Peluso the fourth. Okay. If I have a son, it's Bartholomew Caleb Peluso the fifth. How many fifths have you ever heard of?
There's King Louis. There's King
Yeah.
Henry.
Other than a king.
There's
royalty,
Queen Elizabeth.
But I've heard of one other fourth in my entire life. Never a fifth.
You got to break the mold at some point.
The pressure to have a sixth, it's like an exponential thing.
Yeah.
I have to stop it while I
gotta
still
stop the
can.
chain.
No, because you can call him by his middle name.
It doesn't
and
matter.
You don't,
His birth certificate would be fucked.
okay, but guess what? Is your great grandfather's middle name Caleb?
No.
So you can name his middle name whatever you want to name the
Bartholomew
kid. Just
to
keep
ever
it
do it.
alive.
Bartholomew to ever do it full circle. My thing is this. If I call him by his middle name, what if he picks up a stage name, becomes famous? Let's say my son's name is like Gold Grill or some stupid. I just
Is
came
he a
up with that on
porn
the spot.
star?
Gold Grill? I don't think that's fine.
Somebody order an extra large Italian sausage.
What if he becomes famous as a porn star and they go on his Wikipedia page and it says Gold Grill, born Bartholomew Vincenzo Peluso the fifth?
So that would be lit.
He would lose all credibility.
It would be lit because like it's one of those things that's like if your son's badass enough to be famous, like no offense, but Bartholomew, like you think about it, you kind of think like a lame name. You broke that mold.
Bart.
I'm proud of you.
He's only saying this because we said Robin Williams is a better fucking genius.
No, I'm being on like you find out somebody really awesome has a name like Cornelius, like that's actually pretty cool.
Cornelius is a cool name.
Who do we
Says
know
guy
with the
from
Cornelius?
Lubbock.
Hold on, who do we know?
Cornelius is not a cool name, but if a dude
we know someone.
You got to make it cool.
Hold on, we know someone with a Cornelius.
I joke.
Oh, Bond. Bond's
Bond
middle name is
and Cornelius. But like, no, like, you meet a dude who's like, say Michael Jordan's real name was like Cornelius Jordan. Does that mean he's not like a fucking badass?
Do you know what Tiger Woods' real name is?
It's something weird.
I'm looking it up.
It's not
up.
Tiger, but like, who cares?
Actually, we're going to take a break real quick and look that up. And while we're doing that, here's Float by 70 Flat.
In my mind, I see yourself, and I'm just trying to catch myself. Yeah. No, I didn't think it'd be so. Never thought it'd be so hard. No. Some people ask me where I'm going. Sometimes I wanna say I'm floating on the way. On the way. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we are back. Bart, what is Tiger Woods' real name?
His full real name is Eldrick, or Eldrick. I think it's Eldrick.
Eldrick's not a bad name.
Eldrick, his middle name?
His
His middle name is Taunt, T-O-N-T.
Yeah, that's weird.
Eldrick Taunt.
Eldrick, that's like a regal name. Like, you can't be a bitch with
Bartholomew's a regal name.
Bartholomew was in the Bible. I don't think most people know that.
Yeah.
He was one of the 12 disciples.
Really?
Yes.
He was just the one that didn't do anything.
No,
he's like Bart.
literally-
He's like the Bart that's here before us. He's just there.
You know,
He would crack jokes
You know what
on the
his
side to
thing-
make Jesus
He liked
laugh.
to knit some.
Do you know what his thing was? He was a loud eater during the Last Supper. And Seth is laughing at this as we discussed this earlier. And I promise this is not a contrived segue. That's really what he was known for. Seth, you can take this minute to talk shit about me. Seth thinks I eat very loudly.
Bart is a category 3 smacker.
I am a smacker.
And I joked with him literally while we're walking into Sanctuary that sometimes whenever I'm talking to him and he has a snack, I can't hear myself talk because it's.
I apologize to anybody who just had to hear this.
I want to point out, and this is going to anger Seth, much like the being late thing, I only smack with Seth.
He smacks in front of everyone but his girlfriend.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
said that earlier, so he is lying.
It's only
Yeah, no, but my thing is, Seth, you don't give a shit if I smack. You chuckle at it. My thing is, like, if I met Queen Latifah, who is actual royalty, I would, right?
Yeah.
Is she not? Is Queen?
Wait, is she?
I thought Queen is a title.
No, it's not there.
The power of the Black Panther has been
Stripped away.
but no, if I met someone famous, I would not smack in front of them. I would be on my best behavior. It's just like,
Shocker.
okay, do you in public eat differently than in private?
Yeah, I eat like a fucking heathen no matter.
I-
It's like, okay, like with wings, like
All
usually,
my friends are
if,
heathens.
If like, great
Take it
copyright
slow.
strike, great. No, but if I'm out with friends, depending on like group of friends, depends how I eat. But alone, I usually wolf food down. But with wings, no matter who I'm around, I could be around the fucking queen. I go in on
The Queen of
wings.
America,
I
of course.
clean wings, hot wings, like it's nobody's business.
Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, we were on different brain.
Yeah, no, I know what. I
Wait,
totally
who do you think I
sidetracked.
was going to say?
Hold on, Cleveland, go.
No, y'all go ahead because I was gonna.
I don't think we're on the same.
Who do you
page.
think I was going to say was the Queen of America?
Beyonce.
There's one answer.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Hannah Montana.
Oh, gross. I don't like Jennifer Lawrence. I just thought that's what his answer would be. Okay,
I actually thought that.
Okay, so we actually have some guest questions here from you guys.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
okay.
So I want to.
You're good, you're good.
Yeah, we got some guest questions here. So the first one is from my friend Michelle.
I'm excited. Thank you,
And
Michelle.
so she asked, "What do y'all think about hypnosis?"
So here's real quick, like mini segue into the whole concept. My project graduation. I talk about it all the time because that's when I like first did a stand-up show.
Yeah.
The guy who went before me was a hypnotist.
Really?
And I've seen it there. I've seen it on a cruise. I've seen it at my work parties. Like, that shit works. Here's the thing, though. I had to make a video for one of my classes about my high school. And so I Googled project graduation to find footage.
Yeah.
And there were like 150 different videos of hypnotists at at high school graduations. So I think hypnosis, I've never seen it used on a scale of like, you snore, we're going to hypnotize you to solve that. Yeah. But as an entertainment thing, I think it's great. And I've seen it used a bunch.
Yeah.
My 21st birthday this last December, one of the sororities here, Chi Omega, had their formal, and I had the luxury of going. It was a great time, but they actually got a hypnotist to come and hypnotize people. I really wanted to go, but I could not.
Was it one person at a time or like a
No,
stage
they got it.
show?
They got a group.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's
it was
usually how it
well,
is.
and then he was going around just hypnotizing people too whenever there was free time. It was really cool, but it's one of those things that like, if you have any doubt in your mind, it doesn't work. And so there would be like half the people worked on, half the people they didn't. But the craziest thing was he at one point put half of them to sleep and then said, whenever I snap, you'll wake up and you'll think you see your biggest celebrity. And my friend Rylan was up there. And like it snaps and she runs up to another one of our friends and goes, "It's Beyonce," like, and was dead serious. Like Beyonce was in that world.
I have a coworker named Dontel, like super cool dude, but very like masculine and like never likes to be outlandish or like in front of a group or anything. And we at my work party did it, and he said, when I snap my fingers, you are Beyonce. He, in front of like 200, 300 people, literally was Beyonce. And the craziest part is, like, he doesn't know any of her music, but he was singing the fucking lyrics.
Really?
That was so cool to me.
I don't know, because, so, like, from, like, the psych major perspective, like, we talked about hypnosis. The committee's still out. Most, like, serious psychologists say not really, because most people say, like, it's an advanced kind of, like, form of, like, social role-playing almost, where, like, you feel the pressure of, like, the crowd to, like, perform, like, what the hypnotist is telling you to do.
No, I totally think that's a huge factor in it.
Yeah.
What Seth said is entirely true. It's less if you're skeptical. It's more if you want to be hypnotized. And I'm doing hypnotized with, like, air quotes. It's if you want to be part of it. That's why I don't really believe it on a format of, like, hey, I'm going to hypnotize you so you stop smacking. Yeah. It's more like, come to the show.
Yeah, well, and so, like, the actual, like, practical, like, medical use of psychology, or not psychology, hypnosis, is, in a lot of cases, it's just to get people, like, to cope with things. So, like, they'll kind of, like, put you under, so to speak, but it's usually get you in a headspace where you can, like, talk about, like, a traumatic experience without, like, stressing you out. And so, like, there's that actual application where it kind of just puts you in the right headspace to talk about it. But even then, they say, like, hypnotists can't make you do anything that you don't want to do in the first place. Like, they can't, like, make you act against your own will. And so, I don't know, it's a really weird thing because some people, like, vehemently believe in it. Other people, like, not even close. We have another one here from Griffin, and it's a question asking, have y'all ever been reincarnated?
Yes.
Yes, after I drink.
In our past life, I was Seth and Seth was me.
Holy shit. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Remember how we kept joking Seth lived during the Great Depression? Mm-hmm. It was me as Seth.
So y'all have just been, like,
I live
teaming each other's, like, generations.
We are very familiar with each other's genitals, but only because we've seen it in a Freaky Friday-esque scenario.
Yeah, the movie Freaky Friday, we actually gave them the idea in our past life.
Do you know how I gave you the word "the" in Poddy Mouth Guys? I gave Walt Disney's Frozen Head the concept of Freaky Friday.
Yes, and in all of our past lives, we've gone on to make things together. We made
Backdoor Sluts 9.
Yes, we made the movie Gone with the Wind.
I made Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, dude, I look so attractive in that one as the train.
Oh yeah,
they ran a train on me, Cleveland.
Choo choo.
So I guess to answer it more on a serious note, reincarnation I can see as a thing happening, but I don't think I have been already. Because don't people who believe in that believe that you remember some of it?
I think, I mean, if you want to talk, like, the religious angle of it, I think they say, like, if you live a bad life as a human, right? And let's say you're a very violent person, you'll be reincarnated, like, down a step to animal, but you'll be reincarnated as, like, a tiger, to where, like, it basically, like, offsets your violence where you're expected to be violent.
So I was an annoying frog or something.
The natural balance of the world.
I was an annoying frog, and they made me into, or a snake with a lisp, and they were like, "You're Bart now."
So yeah, no, I never, and this just shows how unknowledgeable I am about it. But I thought you could not be reincarnated as a person. Like, you always were some new animal. If you lived a good life, you became a cow because. In that religion, cow is sacred. They will never eat or kill a cow.
And that's why Chick-fil-A is so religious. Because they worship a cow.
Okay, so speaking of animals, the next question comes from Nikki. And she says, what do you guys think about the new Cats movie?
Dude, I will...
For it?
Cats is the worst musical to ever get popular in existence. Andrew Lloyd Webber has had 2 good musicals.
You talked about suicide, so I feel comfortable saying this. I will kill myself before I watch that film.
Yes. The movie looks just as bad as the musical.
I can't believe they got Idris Elba to do it.
He's in it?
How much money are they giving these
people?
Hold
on, he's in it?
Yeah, he's one of the cats.
Dear God. My thing... Okay, listen, you fucking idiots. When it comes to I don't like the musical. I don't like the concept. But the one thing the musical does okay is just dress them up like cats. Why did they make these CGI monstrosities?
Well, that's a whole phenomenon called the Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, they look awful.
Yeah.
And I know exactly, it's the Uncanny Valley, the whole concept that they're trying to look realistic, but they don't.
And then it freaks us out.
But, like, they could have avoided that. Yeah. And the same reason, I didn't like Lion King, the reboot.
Okay, so here's a little side thing. I worked this past summer at Evo movie theaters. That was hell. especially because how awful the movies were. Because it was like we had live action Aladdin, we had live action Lion King, we had all the live action remakes just sucking up all of the money in the
and
theater.
they draw big crowds, so the place is always
because,
packed.
Like, you remember Lion King? I remember Lion King. Let's go see
Remember
Lion King.
I did not like.
Remember Chewbacca? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. It's the worst. And like it was cool getting to go like the early like pre-screenings for employees, even though that may or may not have ever happened because Disney's not.
Yeah, dude, I have to say the same shit. That's really funny.
Apparently, I can never testify on the record.
I hear Alamo Drafthouse actually does it,
I hear
and
Eva
only
Madden
them.
also does it for for
No.
Disney movies, but
It's
I
like
can't.
no one else but Alamo. Please sue them.
Yeah. So so Eva was that was part of it, and it was just I remember like walking away from Lion King, and I was like, that sucked. Like I love Lion King, but I was like, that was bad.
There was no soul in it. They looked
It
lifeless.
was soulless.
They looked
It
lifeless.
was. The only
And Beyonce had a riff on every fucking song. Beyonce, why?
The only expression they
They knew
had-
that was the only good thing they had in this movie.
But not in the context of the movie.
the only expression lions can do is angry and indifferent. Those are the only two expressions they can do. They
Like
can't
my
sing.
mother.
I never watched the movie. The only thing I saw was the scene of Scar killing Mufasa and him in no way being methodical, just saying, "Long live the king," and then throwing a little plush toy of a lion down. It looked literally like a plush toy.
They
falling.
should have. They basically took the voice of an animated, like straight to DVD. I love the voice cast, but the way it was
Yeah,
done.
it was casted well. Seth Rogen's like
but they put it over a nature documentary.
Yeah.
And I like Jungle Book because Jungle Book understood what it was trying to be.
yeah.
But
then
this was
everything
too
became
realistic.
like Jungle Book now.
This was too realistic. So to answer your question, cats will be trash.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give
Cats
a lot
remains
animation
trash.
so much. I love animation.
Oh, I love animation. They need
Like-
to bring back 2D. You know, I fucking love Princess and the Frog, which is
Yeah.
a Disney print. Like, even if you don't like that film because of the film, the animation in it is
The
great.
music in there is great,
and they'll
too.
never make another 2D fucking animated.
Yeah.
Oh, pisses me off.
I don't like. I just at some point just like Disney's just like, oh, look what I can do. Look what I can do. I can
Cleveland,
do
what's the
this.
greatest animated movie of all time?
animated movie of all time?
Not think purely off of animation. And Seth, don't say it because
I think we're on the same page here.
Oh God, that's hard, man.
I'm gonna say it's recent.
I'm gonna say
You
Into
wanna-
the Spider-Verse.
We'll count.
Yeah.
down.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Spider-Verse.
Yes.
It was just
Oh,
so original and
It was very
fresh.
comic book. Like it really
It was
fit the
so
comic book
good.
vibe.
And if you like on Reddit, there's that movie details subreddit.
Yeah.
Like they animated Peter Parker at 60 frames a second, but Miles at 24 at the beginning because he's choppier and like doesn't know what he's doing. Like little like behind the scenes tidbits. There's so
well
much
done.
shit packed in
I
there.
would go see 100 more Marvel movies if they were done like that.
Yeah.
I want
But I'm just so
an
tired.
entire universe like that, comic book
Now,
style.
of course, Tom Holland is dead now, Spider-Man, because
Dude, I will literally cry.
I still don't
was actually
understand.
good as
Is
Spider-Man.
is
I
he
loved
being
him as
reincarnated? Like I still don't understand.
Okay, I'm gonna explain it real quick, and then I'm literally crying because I can't stay on this topic for long. It genuinely fills me with rage. So here's as it stands now, unless they make
I
another
just want
deal.
to say Disney is at fault too. So don't.
Yeah, no,
just blame
Disney and
Sony.
Disney
Sony, they all
Marvel.
suck. They all
Yeah.
suck. But as it stands now, if they don't fix it, they can never mention Spider-Man again. So not even a second where they're like, oh man, Spider-Man went into hiding because they ended on the biggest fucking cliffhanger ever.
Yeah.
The second thing, Sony will try to make another movie with Tom Holland, who I love, but A, he won't want to do it, and B, they can't mention anything. Now, because Sony's a dick, they won't even let him use their costume. They own Ned. Like, his people are Disney people.
Oh, God.
Like, you understand, like, they're going to reboot it with Tom Holland. It's going to be confusing, annoying. They need to fix this shit. Now, the thing that bothers me most about it is Kevin Feige, the Marvel producer. Love the guy. He's done a great job. Love Tom Holland. They had a gun held at their hand at this last Disney Expo and had to say that they were done telling the story of Spider-Man after they ended on the biggest cliffhanger in any Spider-Man thing ever.
Yes, God.
And that really upset me. I'm like, don't lie.
Well, and it was good, too. I thought, like, they like really made Mysterio a good villain for, like, kind of like...
No, I loved
modern
Far From
times,
Home.
especially
I really
with
did.
Deepfakes and stuff coming out. Like, you can... Reality
I
started
loved
becoming
it. It
so
was topical
malleable
and
at
it was
this
really
point.
good.
And you had a...
Spider-Man's
what's
been
his name
killing.
return as, like, the Alex Jones.
Spider-Man's been killing
Yeah.
because they trusted live action with fucking Marvel and they trusted the animated with the guys who did the Lego movie.
Yeah, they also did... have you ever seen the show Clone High?
Yeah.
Yeah. They did that, too. Was it Andrew Lloyd and somebody else? But yeah, they also did that. They did.
They were
I
doing
could watch
well.
100 more Into the Spider-Verse.
They were doing well. and then they fucked it up. So yeah, Cats is gonna be a shit
because
film.
basically the way I understood it was fuck Cats. But the way I understood it with the contract with Disney and Sony was basically like Sony still owns Spider-Man, but they had to basically like I think Disney would make the movies for them, and then Disney got 5% of the profits, and like I think it was like a 10% thing on opening night, but then Sony got the rest of the money. And Disney said we want half.
Oh no, it's way worse than that. Disney got 5%. They did none of the budget, right? So Sony paid for the movie, made the movie, marketed the movie. Oh, sorry. Sony paid for the movie and marketed the movie, which is why the trailers for Homecoming were such shit and spoiled a lot of the film. Disney had all the creative part of it. They got 5% of box office and 100% of the merchandise. Because Disney owns every iteration of Spider-Man except for the film. Like, they can't use him in a film, right? So technically they could do a show, but that's a whole technicality. But they don't own Tom Holland. It's a whole confusing thing. What they wanted was 50%.
Yeah.
Which I want to point out, it's not the Marvel people that asked for this. I have no issue saying Disney is evil and Marvel is not. Because Disney, like, what the fuck? They did not need to do that.
Disney is like consuming everything at this point too.
Yeah.
Like they have.
I don't know why. Like they make it seem like if they don't get this, they're gonna go under.
They're consuming. They've got Hulu now, Disney Plus, and then ESPN Plus.
Disney Plus will rule the world in 2 years.
Well, no, the weird thing now too is this because you can only watch the Bobcats on ESPN Plus. So, but you get the Hulu subscription and Disney Plus with it for like $12 like a month.
Yeah, no,
that's a good deal, and I hate it because I don't.
Disney owns everything. They own
Disney
ESPN, they own Hulu, and that's why Cats will be shit.
Yes, and that's why Cats will be shit. Well, my laptop's actually running really low on battery. I know you gotta get down to GameStop by
2K baby, it's 2K day.
So it has been an absolute pleasure having you guys on. Follow us on Twitter at SanMo Show if you want San more, and I will see you guys.
I like that.
In the next episode.